Ronin, Tales of the Samurai, the Burn Empire. As you all know, the Misfit story. Misfit spawned Burn. As the handyman, aka the doctor, left Misfit for a better life for everybody with Burn. The doctor, protege of Slickster, heir to the Misfit legacy, carved his own path with Burn, created the Burn Empire of Clans, which had a clan on every game on PS3 at the time. Through this power, and also creating the legacy of Burn, it was the better life. When it started, Doc's mission was to make it a better life for everybody in Burn. And he did that. It was a good place where everybody can get home from work and school, get on and play, doing practices, private custom games against each other, going online, getting wins, stacking, preparing for Fragnation. Along the way, the more power Doctor Who got, the more he became his mentor. The more power he got, the more the Science became his mentor. Doctor Who, the handyman, was in so much power that he could control life and death when it came to members, just like his mentor did in Misfit. If a member shot his opinion, Doc would slash it down and show his dominance and control. If anyone opposed Doctor, the handyman, they would get silenced. Not only would they get shut up, but they would be forced into a 2-on-1 handicap private game with a certain stipulation what they couldn't use, and they would get slaughtered. And they would have to do it, or Doctor would threaten to eliminate them. And if they continued the onslaught, Doc would just get rid of them entirely. And he had so much power that he could control who was there and who wasn't. And if the members wouldn't all erase him, they didn't get in line, Doctor would eliminate them too. And they would all fall in line. As you could see, he was becoming just like his mentor. Slowly. You can call it fate. You can call it a curse. And a curse it was. Because Doctor was handpicked by Slickster as Zack Slickster, and Assassin waged a war for control to train Doctor Who. The best of Assassin and the best of Slickster, both legacies are merged into one, a true heir. And in the end, Slickster and Assassin both died, and Doctor prevailed. He learned everything from both of them. So his fate is sealed. No matter what the Doctor does, he was always truly going to be just like them. His innocence was taken away from him when he was put into that path by them a year before that. As the Doctor became more and more like his mentors, people started to rebel. If they rebelled, if someone small rebelled, they would get silenced, humiliated, beat up in a handicap custom game, or kicked out and forced to be deleted by everybody and erased from existence. And people fell in line out of fear. They did not want to get kicked. But what it had to come down to is the more it happened, the worse it got. The more the power, the more doctors started to lose the righteous path of what Byrne was supposed to be, a better life for everybody. And it was becoming more and more like how Misfit was in the end. The only way they could fix it was to talk sense into the Doctor. The key core members, the leaders, co-leaders, and co-co-leaders, needed to have a meeting. Doctor had to be talked sense into. And that's exactly what they did. Shadow, Reg, and Mike. They went to the handyman, the Doctor, and they said the truth about everything. And in that split moment, the Doctor knew that there was no going back, that no matter what he does, he is always going to be like his mentor, and there's no escaping it. Fast forward, there was no happy ending, unfortunately, as the Doctor, as everybody rebelled, the Doctor silenced everybody, one after another. They all fell in a domino effect. The only two that did not go were his co-leaders, Mike and Royal, the two youngest in the clan, the twins. When it comes to passing on the legacy of Misfit and Byrne, the only true rightful heirs were Shadow, Candy, Royal, and Mike. With Candy gone and Shadow gone, Mike and Royal were the true rightful heirs. But the handyman knew that setting up an heir, in the end, you will become just like him, just like his mentor before him, and there's no escape. As the sign started to show for the Shadow, he knew that he could never train an heir fully, because if he trains an heir fully, two things will happen. One, this heir will become bigger than he will ever become, and it will destroy himself, and this heir will become the alpha in the food chain, while the mentor dies off, never to be heard from again. It's one mistake the Doctor was never going to be willing to make, to have a safeguard. But also, when it comes to his Byrne kids, it may not have seemed like it in the end, but the Doctor really did care. Though they don't believe it, and they may never will, but the Doctor cared more than they ever knew. When it comes to the twins, Mike and Royal, they were with him from the start, loyal as can be. He cared about them the most, and they were next in line now. that Shadow and Candy were out of the picture. The doctor just could not do it. He could not make Royal or Mike the heir because he did not want Mike and Royal to turn out just like him. He did not want that fate for his burn kids, his favorite burn kids. So he did what he had to do. He pushed Royal and Mike away. Royal caught the bait, and she was easier to push away. Though it hurt the doctor pushing her away and having her hate him, even to this day. It was the best choice to protect her. As far as Mike goes, Mike just wouldn't fucking go. For years, the doctor held Mike back. He held him back for years, trying to push him away. Not to hurt him, but to protect him from becoming what he became. In the end, Mike eventually was pushed away, never to come back again. Though, as much as the doctor did not want Mike to go, it was the best choice that could happen. It's a safeguard that Mike will never become what the doctor became and his mentor before him. And Mike will never know the truth, the real truth. As far as Burn continued from the split, many iterations over time, never truly recapturing the magic that it captured with the original Burn group from the late 2013, the mid 2014 era. Burn was a very special clan. It's a legacy. It has a history of some of the best Last of Us players and Uncharted players there was. But Burn's legacy was never meant to be a success in the long run. It fell just like Misfit did. Slickster becoming the monster and ruining the legacy, just like the handyman Doctor Who became the monster, ruining the legacy. That the story is the handyman, the doctor, became just like his mentor and suffered the same fate as his mentor. And the only reason that the doctor is still standing to this day is he never set an heir and taught him everything. The moral of the story is this: the doctor played it smart, and it's why he's still standing. The Burn legacy is history repeating itself. And the fate of the doctor is a curse of the misfits.